Your worst of the weekend, by the way.
So my worst of the weekend actually was one reason I didn't really catch too much of the golf coverage was actually the U.S. Open reporting. A lot of it
Mhm.
seemed to take more of a schoolyard bully uh, attempt at just basically smack talking the live players. How do you call that? Live or live? LIV.
LIV 54.
Right. So I think that realistically, this major tournament couldn't have come at a more perfect time. They couldn't have gotten a better result considering all of the LIV players basically shit the bed. And they chose to dwell on the LIV situations in print and in media. I watched a little bit of the coverage, and instead of hyping up their league, Rory McIlroy has seemed to become this beacon of conscience, like the beacon of what do you call it? Like the
Wokeness.
conscientious saint. No, I don't know about wokeness, but he seems to have become the patron saint of the PGA Tour. And frankly, it's getting a little bit ridiculous, in my opinion, that they're choosing to take the avenue of pile on the new kid versus, hey, look what we have still in our arsenal. And yes, I got Scotty Scheffler wrong. I don't know who I was thinking of. Maybe I was thinking of DeChambeau when we talked about him last week. But why don't you accentuate the product you still have? The fact that Matty Fitzpatrick could become an up and coming golfer, and stop dwelling on the guys like Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson and um, not Bryson, but Brooks Koepka. They decided to dwell on Brooks
Yeah.
Koepka, which it does look like he's on his way out. I mean, he's a guy that probably cares more about the money than the accolades. He's got his 4 major titles. What does it matter anymore? Like, none of these guys are getting to 14 and 18 titles. Like, so just go get the money and leave him alone. Like, yes, like Brandel Chambly every day on Twitter is just nauseating. Like, take a day off from this shtick. Like, you take money from a company, and if another company came and offered you more money that may have been a little less than desirable, say Fox came and offered Brandel Chambly double his salary, I can't see a spot where Brandel Chambly doesn't take the money. So who are you to call out these other people? Because I mean, we have no problem taking Chinese money in this country, but all of a sudden Saudi money is a problem. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And they really clouded a large scale major tournament and a breakout victory for a young star because of their own personal
Agenda.
sense of agenda. And I thought it was disgusting, and really it was hard for me to watch.
That's a good point. I don't want to get too much into that because we don't have much time, but I can see both sides, but I'm still on the side of LIV is still weird. It seems like a money grab at this point for these guys. It doesn't seem authentic.
Well, it
I'm not,
100%
but
is. What do
even
you
the
expect
Saudi
from this?
thing gets on my nerves when that's the only reason they don't like it. That's what makes me mad.
Nobody says a damn word about the NBA taking Chinese money and then the NBA shutting down Daryl Morey when he made a comment on Twitter about the Chinese and the human rights violations. And your boy LeBron James doesn't say a damn word when that money is rolling in. But all of a sudden, these guys want to go for a better life and more money and financial freedom. And all of a sudden, they're the worst people in the world. This country is built on hypocrisy, and some reason we just want to pile it on, Bryson. I mean, not Bryson, well, mostly Bryson, but Phil Mickelson. But I feel like Dustin Johnson's kind of getting away with this a little bit. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because they can't pick on him because he doesn't care. Like, he publicly doesn't care. He's like, I don't care what you think about me. He's been that way for the better part of a decade. Like, he's like, I don't give a damn what you think. So it's kind of like if a bully is making fun of you and it doesn't hurt you, then the bully almost kind of stops making fun of you.
Ha! That's a fair point. My worst
So,
is actually going to piggyback off yours.
okay.
Because it could have been my best at the same time. Phil Mickelson shot a plus 11 at the U.S. Open. This comes a week after he joins a league where he had just badmouthed the people a few months ago. At least where the money's coming in from, the whole political aspect of it. He goes in there, shoots a +1. He wasn't even in contention because the Schwartzel guy won it. It was miles ahead of that, ahead of Phil. Then Phil comes about the U.S. Open, shoots +11. I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. Go ahead, play your LIV. Apparently, you're not good at golf anymore, but you're still going to get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. for sucking. So I thought it was great, but
isn't that the American dream?
No, it's got to make my worse because as a sports person with pride, this has to be eating him alive right now. He shot a +1 in his debut when he's the big name, and now he shoots a +11 the U.S. Open. Yeah, rest in piss, Phil.
He doesn't care. I don't know. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You guys continue to take shots at Phil. He doesn't care. He clearly couldn't compete on the PGA Tour.
He's a hypocrite.
How is he a hypocrite? How?
Then wasn't he the one who said, "Oh, well, Saudi people are evil people," and all of a sudden now he's in this league?
It's not. He was the one who said. He said, "Look, they're not the greatest of."
This is a controversy.
He's not there. He said they're not the greatest. They haven't done the greatest of things. But if they can, if he can use leverage, he can use leverage on the with the Saudis against the PGA to make the game better. He's going to do it.
It's not making the game better. It's awful.
It's been 1 week.
Okay, and they've already stolen 4 names. And according to Tony Johnson, who's a golf purist, he's watching like this is stupid.
It's
a money grab.
It might be, but we weren't there back in the 1930s when the PGA established itself either. So, I mean, major tournaments don't just pop up and they're largely.
But if you're joining strictly because someone offers you $25 million. To me, it's like, well, do you love the game you're playing? Because I don't want to watch it. It's like the NFL and NBA thing. I don't want to watch you if all you're playing for is money. I want to watch you because you're wanting to win.
For in the NBA, they're not playing for anything other than money. You look at these guys. Jimmy Butler's the guy you root for the most, and he's the worst of it.
That's my point.
So then why do you continue to root for Jimmy Butler and guys like that? Jimmy
Butler actually cares, but the new generation doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. If he cared, he wouldn't act like a diva and a crybaby to the coach.
I remember him making a max contract.
What does it matter if he's on max? They're all clearly overpaid for what they provide to the country.
But they still actually, no.
Look, and the thing is you shouldn't be mad at Phil Mickelson. You shouldn't be mad at Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson has won 6 majors. He has won over 20 tournaments. Actually, I think he's won over 40. He's done everything he needs to do. He's done everything he needs to do in the PGA, and someone offered him $200 million to go be a spokesperson for a new league. Dustin Johnson, same thing. Brooks, so what if he sucks? That doesn't fucking matter. His play has no impact. You have to look at the guys like look at Charles Schwartzel. He's a Masters champion. He's not going to be able to compete on the PGA Tour. He just won $4 million in a weekend where he didn't have to play against the greatest golfers in the world. You made a bad point just now, by the way. You said that they make more money than what they're worth. That's not true. If someone watched me go work security at a bus station, I would make millions of dollars. I don't play sports, so I don't deserve to make that kind of money. That's not how it works. If no one's going
to watch me, then I'm not worth that much.
So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your worth.
I don't care.
Stop it. You're completely missing the point. I didn't say you're not worth your value to society is not worth it.
I mean, if my free time is spent watching them, I guess it is worth it for them, right?
Yeah, but the minute they stop, the minute you price these people out of the market, there are going to be some problems real quick.
See what the PGA did to us. See what the LIV did to us.
I have no problem. I don't particularly even care for the LIV, but to sit here and just use that and be the schoolyard bully when you have a major tournament going on it's absolutely ludicrous and childish. And they need to spend more time pumping up the guys who are still there than just forcing Rory to be this beacon of optimism and think that that's going to matter in the long run. Like I said, look at these guys. Charles Schwartzel, major champion. Brooks Koepka, if he goes, 4-time major champion. Bryson, I think he's won 1 or 2. I think he's won 2.
He's a monster, yeah.
But what I'm saying is these guys don't have anything else to play for. Like, what are you playing for in the PGA? You're not going to win 14 majors. You're not going to win 14 majors. You can play for pride in LIV. Money matters, man. Money matters to people, and that's fine. But you still have a PGA Tour. Let's focus on the fact that there's still a PGA Tour until all of a sudden these guys feel like, well, only thing that's getting covered is the LIV. Why don't I go over there? I mean, Rory can stay as long as he likes. That's fine. But I think eventually a lot of these guys are going to jump. Colin Morikawa, there's already rumblings that he might jump. Like, he's only won, 2 majors? They don't care. They don't care anymore.
Because they suck in the PGA, so they're going there now.
Colin Morikawa was a 2-time major champion. How does he suck?
2-time? Really? Well, those guys who have won 14? Where's the pride there?
No one's catching Tiger. No one is ever catching Tiger.
But we thought no one would catch Jack, though.
No one caught Jack. He's still 5'3" behind
But
Jack.
Tiger got 14 though. It's
He's
still
got
nice.
15. He's got 15.
You get it though. Hey, what is your
No one-
best? What is your best?
No
Go
one's
ahead.
catching them. No one is catching him. So take the money. I get it.
What is your best?
My best is kind of tongue in cheek, and it's hockey Twitter and the
Oh.
world's overreaction to 2 Stanley Cup Finals games. Yes, it's just amazing to see. I mean, like Sammy said it, in the beginning of the series, the Avalanche are 180 to win this cup. They're minus 180, at least they're minus more now. But to get the start of the series, like, and we're acting. Yeah, Vasilevsky has looked atrocious. He's not getting any help. They're having problems getting the offensive zone. But the Avalanche did exactly what they were supposed to do: win the first 2 games. I don't care if they won 21-0 and 28-0. Still 2 wins. That's all that matters.
Oh, the football scores. That was good. That was good.
Well, they put up a touchdown last game.
That's
So,
what I mean, yeah.
look, the series doesn't start till the home team loses, and Game 3 is going to be pivotal. We know that. The back's against the wall, but this is exactly what happened in the Rangers series, and everybody was ready to ride out the Lightning again. So let's see what happens. Hockey Twitter is amazing at their ability to just overreact to little things. Like,
That was
look,
your best?
it's tongue in cheek. I said that.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys something happy here. And kind of high, if you know what I mean, by Colorado. So the Mammoth did win Game 3, coming back from 2-0 to win the NL Championship. Denver Broncos have Russell Wilson. The Avalanche are up 2-0 in the Stanley Cup Final. And Nikola Jokic will get, hopefully, a healthy Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray back next season. So if you're smoking weed out there in Colorado and you're watching sports, you're having a pretty good time.
So let me ask you a question. I don't want to go down this too far, but why is this Denver gets Russell Wilson all of a sudden make them Super Bowl contenders? I don't think they are.
No, if you watched the show when we did our thing,
They still might finish 4th in the West, even with this team.
No, I don't believe that they got that much better. I don't believe they did. They got a quarterback, which is fine.
I love Russell Wilson. Don't get me wrong. I love Russell Wilson, but let's not act like they're going to just leapfrog the rest of the division with Russell Wilson, who's come off a pretty putrid season.
Yeah, I agree. I like first 8 games Russell Wilson. I don't like Russell Wilson like that.
That's fair enough. I like that. That's good.